Oh, hey, already got people on here. Sweet. What's up, Cultalo? Yeah, man. Um, all right. What's up, Kat? Good to see you back again, too. So today's going to be a little bit different. I know I do this like every single time. I'm like, okay. I mean, honestly, though, the first time that I try something, I mean, I'm trying it here. So, going to be a little bit different today. I am running a little bit behind. Sorry about that. But I did a really tiny detailed stencil, and I think it might have been a mistake. So we're gonna see if I can bounce back from that mistake, or if we're just gonna plow through. And I mean, this design, worst comes to worst, I can fill it in all black and it still won't look bad. But what I'm trying to go for is, you remember yesterday I worked on that bomb. So today, what's going to happen is I'm actually going to be working a little bit differently on doing the same type of gradation, but on a rose. So a very teeny tiny itty bitty rose. And there's a reason for it. I haven't done a rose before. I haven't drawn a rose in my life. Hey, it's my favorite stream closed captioner. Glad you could make it, bot. Um, sorry about that. I swear I turned that thing off, but it keeps coming back. So yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna be trying to do this rose. Never drew a rose before, ever, not ever. And as an art student, used to be art student. I guess I was supposed to draw roses at some point because yeah, I'm completely. I'm Well, we'll see. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just pop on in here. I know there's a little bit of a glare. Let me see if I can adjust my light for that. I'll just shield it off. So yeah, this is the rose. I'll show you what it is that I'm working off my sketch, so you can kind of see the proof of concept there. So I'm going to try to do those little tiny gradients. The problem is that, the last gradient that I did, and well, every shade that I've done, every shadow or any effect like that I've done using a mag of some sort, either a curved round mag or, one of the flat ones. Yeah, the glare of the black Irish, seriously. It'll blind ya. It's not luck that we have. We just, blind everybody. But yeah, so this time I don't think I can use a mag because this is way too small. Design flaw, I guess. So we'll see how it works out. But so I'm going to be using starting off using two anyway. Needles. I'm going to be using one of these guys. So this is a round 9 shader. So it's a little bit, it's kind of big. But these spots should be able to hold it. I mean, I've lined with a round shader on a couple of these, and you can see like it doesn't take up a whole lot of space on some of the lines here on some of my older ones. Man, that is just a lot. I got to be able to see though, y'all. There we go. So yeah, I can still see. I hope y'all can see that a little bit better. And then what I'm going to start off with, because I'm so afraid of losing the stencil, whenever I put it on, it was barely visible. And this was like, supposed to be like a professional grade stencil company. So I'm really like, it was so light that I had to go over it. I went over it with a Sharpie so I could see it. But I'm going to be using my last teeny tiny itty bitty liner. So this is a 12-3, so it's a standard size needle with a grouping of 3. Should be very, very small. I've used it before on I guess I can kind of point it out over here on this leg, for this skull, and all these hatch lines that are in here were all done with a 12-3. So it's really small, very delicate. I did kind of set myself up for success in that the lines of the rows are actually, for the stem, it's pretty organic, so I won't have to worry about too many straight lines. I just have to make sure that I'm actually putting in the lines that I've already put down, if that makes sense. So that's the one we're going to start with, because I'm really, really afraid of losing this. So on top of never having drawn a flower, not a flower, a rose, and on top of trying to do gradients using a needle grouping that I haven't been able to get a good, good gradient with, I've also decided that, you know, things are not challenging enough. I need to go ahead and try something else that I've never tried before. So I made my own gray wash, and I did that using some instructions online. You're supposed to be able to buy these things, but a set of 4 gray wash bottles is like, it's probably worth the money. We'll see, but I think it's like $30 or $40 for, you know, like 4 ounces of ink, which, I mean, I guess that's kind of standard, but, you know, whenever everything that you're looking at is black, I mean, it just seems a bit high. So so I used some instructions online, and I've got from my lightest all the way up to a pure black. I'm going to start off with that pure black, and maybe we can actually get something going on here. I'm trying to get that camera to focus a little bit better, but it doesn't really want to. So we're gonna start off at kind of a higher voltage here. Well, I mean standard, but high for what it is that I have right now. I'm gonna lay down a little bit of this stuff. Again, I'm trying not to use any names. I'm trying not to get anybody in trouble. Not that the companies would get in trouble, but I would get in trouble because they'd be like, hey, you cannot use our product. Look at what you're doing. Look at yourself. You don't get it. Yeah. All right. Let me see how far. Ooh, that is sticking out way too far. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I am not stabbing myself with that today. So I'm going to crank that on down. Maybe. There we go. I don't mind it sticking out a little bit. I really do like the length of, you know, like that mechanical pencil, that, you know, that metal on the mechanical pencil. There we go. Yeah. So that's about as far as I like it to go. And I'm going to go ahead and try this full all-out black. Sorry if I move the camera around. It's in a different placement because I'm doing a different leg. So, and I know you're supposed to work up, but I really want to do as little outline as possible on the rose petals itself. So you can see I'm pulling, trying to get that good really as tight as the skin will go. Without confusing myself. And then we'll move on down. I really love these cartridges. These are like my favorite ones by far. I can draw a finer line with this than I can with any pen that I own. And that is saying a lot because my family, we're all pen snobs. We all have our favorites. Well, come time to sign something. It'll come time to sign something, and like I'll just kind of search around, scrounge around, and grab a pen because it's not for me to sign; it's for my wife to sign, and she'll look at me like, "What is this? What is this filth? What have you handed me? Who do you think you are?" I'm the same way though. You want me to sign something? Put my name on things with that? Disgusting. I think I went maybe a little too light right here in this area, so we're just going to come back. Look at that. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Trying to reach my handy dandy. Handy dandy paper towels there. Oh, 03 if they made them. Yeah, it's funny that James. It's funny that you put that up there. If I did leave it all the way out, that's how you get blowouts, man. I think I've talked about those before. I'm pretty lucky. I haven't been able to see one that I've done on myself that has blown out at all. And I mean, I've torn myself up. Don't get me wrong, but I've yet to, full all out blowout where it's just, so deep in that basically give yourself a permanent bruise. Very lucky, very lucky. So you can see I'm trying to figure out like where to start, where to finish. If I can make this line all in one swoop, that's exactly what I want to do. And I know technically I can, but do I have the experience? Back it up just a little bit. Back it up just a little bit. There we go. Alright. So I'm actually doing the leaves. This is a little bit harsh. That did not feel good. Maybe it's not me, my ignorance. Maybe it's me and my pain tolerance that is like, no man, let's break this line up. I'm not interested in what you're doing right now. Ooh, that's a lot of ink. Not interested in that. Occasionally you'll see me like, I'll just kind of bleed the tip. Yeah. It's funny, I didn't know either. I just thought like I've seen some old tattoos and I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty cool how it just kind of like fades off like that, It just loses definition, and I think most tattoos do after a time, but some of them you look at them and they're like, they did more than lose definition. They really, they look like a bruise. I would totally give myself one as an example, but I'm just not not totally interested in that just yet. I'll make my mistakes the old-fashioned way on accident. Alright, something I haven't said in a couple episodes, just got to make sure that I put this out there, is that I do not suggest trying this at home. I am shocked, happily so, that I am able to buy all the materials to do this super fun experiment on myself. But hey, what's going on, Turkey Noodle? Um, but I would not. I'm I'm a soon to be mentally disabled vet, so I have an excuse, and I don't think that most people do. So this is kind of my way of dealing with it. Not dealing with it, but coming to grips with the idea of returning to the civilian world, getting, all those tattoos that I wanted while I was in the military and just never had the time or money. But I'll tell you what, I think things were just a little bit different. I probably would have done this for a living instead. This is so fun. Like, I get done talking to you guys and I'm just stoked for like 2 hours. I'm just wide awake, being, super happy that I got to spend time with people, doing something that, I'm learning. Why did your, because I didn't mention you, but I really wanted you to show up. It's my alert that I send out. I'll change it. I'll say, Everpress is going live. He mentioned everybody but Gary in a comment. I mean, I can do that. All right, so I'm thinking my lining is pretty much done, at least with the solid black. So I don't know if you can see it. I'm kind of happy with it. It looks pretty decent to me. But I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm actually going to go for my second lightest black ink and try to do the lines using that for the petals. Yeah, I totally mentioned you, and I'm glad you're here. This is not my normal brown drink. This is coffee, which is my other normal brown drink. So, all right, let's see how this other stuff pans out. Like I said, I've never made my own wash before. It's kind of hard to keep in the needle. Yeah, well, we'll give it a try anyway. I might just be making some bloodlines, which, that's cool. So even during this process, I'm going to have to... Oh, man, you're rucking? What kind of lame unit are you in? Okay, let's see. Feel like this is wrong, but we're going to do it anyway. You can definitely see it's a little bit lighter. I'm not disappointed in that. That's what I was hoping for. It's good whenever, something actually comes in and meets your expectations. Like, yes, doing it right. At least I'm not doing it so wrong. That's a bonus. Sorry, I'm probably not as talkative as I normally am. It's likely a very good thing. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth if I'm just talking to talk. Which, I mean, honestly, that can be fun too. You know. They just lost a lot of definition on this. What do I do now? I don't know if you guys know how bad I am at freehanding this stuff, but it's pretty gnarly. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let's see where we are with that. Yeah, I feel like that didn't take too well. This last little bits. Definitely feel like I might have done a little bit of bloodlining on this, and that's okay. That just means that for a little while, I should be able to see what's going on with the outline, but I can also count on that going away if I get my gradient correct. If that makes sense. All right. So the next part of this is where things get kind of tricky. So actually, I feel like I'm making pretty good time. which is new and different. Most of the time I'm like, what? Alright, so this is where I'm bringing in the shader. Again, if this was even a slightly bigger piece, I would not be trying to do this gradient with the shader. I don't even know if this is going to work, honestly. I mean, I never know if any of these things are going to work. I've not seen a YouTube video where somebody does this, and I really should have done my homework today, but I was kind of busy today. Didn't really have time for all that jazz. All right, so I'm going to see how far this bad boy sticks out. Maybe if I hold it in front of a dark something. All right, yep, my crotch looks pretty cool. That is not sticking out that far at all. It's not that bad, but just a little bit more, you know? And I'm going to be slowing down. I can hear that, maybe. Hear the difference. So I would actually be shading it probably around here. Right? And this would be like, my lining would be right around there. So kind of a big jump there. And I'm also going to be trying to use, I'm going to go with my third darkest mixture here. And kind of going into some of these areas that I know are going to be, you know, almost black. So like towards the center. Here, I'm not that good using one hand to soften things up here, to tenderize my skin. All right, so look right around this area towards the base. Maybe out on some of these stems. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go over this a few times, but I do like this, you know, not quite black shade here. So that's good. I like it. So we'll work on, you see me looking at my reference because, you know, I think I did a pretty good job shading it. I have zero idea on how to do a flower. And that's pretty important because one of my planned pieces actually has roses, well, a rose on it, so it seems kind of ridiculous that I wouldn't practice it. Alright, man. Yeah, enjoy the celebration dinner. Congrats to Logan. That's awesome. I would have just been sitting out in the outfield, so picking grass. Can confirm from experience. I feel like I'm getting way in front of the camera this time. Hey, what's going on, Gremlin? You, you came in just in time to see, like, if I'm gonna fail on a tattoo, it's gonna be this one right here. This is it. This is the one. Welcome to the show. Alright, let's go back over to this one. Hey, man. The best kind of motivation is no motivation. Is that? One of the things I do like about shading, though, one of the like really fun things about it is that like I can just like go ham on this. Honestly, who knows? You know, just poke around, come through here, a little darkness on that part. You know, shade in here real quick. Come back over here, darken up these spots. Try to pull that nice and tight. I don't know, man. Like, you could talk about happy little trees or whatever. You know, happy little accidents. It's not something that you really want whenever you're working on a tattoo, I guess. But at the same time, it's kind of cool to see like how it's I don't know how it just comes out. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Go into this a little bit lighter mixture here. Come around some of these edges. Some of these parts here. I feel like this is like you can just build up off this, which is pretty cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm still trying to figure out. Whoa, I need to get like a stand or something. This, or bigger legs. I don't know. So, looking at it, this is almost right. This part is still a little bit too light. And that's okay. Just go over it again and again and again. It's just skin. Right. Whoa. Hate when that happens. Kind of like being able to see what it is that I'm doing. Just Just a little. You, you misspelled thick. You meant with 2 C's. Get some of this really light stuff over here. Man, I might end up just kind of, now I'm like mixing my ratios of black here, so because I'm not terribly happy with where I know this is supposed to be darker and then it's actually put in the dark. That's a little bit better. Boop. One thing I'm definitely trying to do here, it might not be apparent, is I'm trying to go kind of straight up and down with this needle, just to ensure that I get as much of that needle grouping in, or else I'm just kind of wasting time, you know. I've got a needle grouping with a bunch of, like 9 needles or whatever. Kind of don't want to be using like 7 of them. I'm going to be using all of them. Oh my gosh. Definitely not the best looking flower. But that's okay. It's alright. You know. Yesterday I wouldn't have been able to do half this good, so. Definitely want that. Definitely here. So the way to here. Definitely here. It's a good looking stem. It's a crazy looking flower. I appreciate it though. I really do. This fun experience. I mean, honestly, like, just keeps getting more fun. You thought about the? I wish I could. You thought about that first tattoo that you're gonna get there? What you want me to do? I could do Mr. Red Legs. I know you like that. Well, maybe that's this year. Of course, you didn't say you'd let an amateur tattooist do it. I mean, I get that, but amateur hobbyist. Would you do like a full all out like portrait, or would you go something a little bit more cartoony? Him doing something that he likes to do, I guess. Cheap enough, yeah. I didn't say I'd be free, man. Come on. Yeah. I got you. I got you. That actually sounds pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Normally, the more I futz with something, the worse it looks, but it's actually starting to look a little bit like a rose, so let's keep going. Does he really terrorize the neighborhood, or does he think he's terrorizing the neighborhood? Like, just like walk around like king of everything. Yeah. My dog's pretty tough until you open the door. She's like, ah. Unless you live here. She acts like she's never seen me before. It's like practice or something. Whenever there is an emergency. Oh, what? It's a rose. It's a rose. My boy did a rose. That was my book. That was another thing. Let's not tattoo my face. That'd be interesting. Just if I was like bent over and then just like came up and had like a, I don't know, like a Machine Gun Kelly tattoo or something. Oh jeez, I keep. That was my book again. There we go. Alright, let's put my book somewhere where I can see it. Not my leg this time. Alright. I don't want to keep humming. Anything to say whenever I'm humming? Alright. So I'm going full crazy, like full grown black on this. I'm just coming in just to add some quick areas of contrast so it doesn't all look like just really light grays. So that hopefully add a little bit of interest in there. I think I could probably go through that again one more time. Especially look in this area here, where that is, right there. Yep, I think I'll keep that. Now let's go ahead and move on to some of these flowers, or these what are these? Leaves. I knew it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me the answer. It's a bit harder to get in on these things. I feel like I might be going back to that liner to get some of this spots on the leaves. Just to make sure. No, not on this one. This is kind of like a practice run for another piece that I'm planning. Um, so I wasn't going to do any color on this one, but I do plan on doing kind of some darker shades whenever it comes to the next piece. So. Majority of the stuff that I've done so far, almost all of it, has been black and white. Not even like gray, really. Just this is my first time even trying to use a different shade of black to get the colors and the shading in the rows. So. I've been interested. I haven't looked it up, but this is, I mean, how little I know about like coloring. Um, I've been really interested to know if I could, do some of these darker shadows and stuff like that in black because I am kind of comfortable with the idea of it, um, and then go back and color over it. But I'm not sure if that's really like a something that I'm not sure if that's something that you do. I'm thinking probably not in most cases. I'll tell you what, throwing everything on the floor today. Um, in most cases, it's probably not something you do. I'm sure that there's some kind of reaction with the ink or something that would keep you from doing it, but who knows? Just have to look into it, I guess. I know that totally wasn't, complete. That was way too much of an answer. Let's try again. No. Just a touch of red. You hate the red I had. You said it looked like orange. No, there's got to be more than one way to find out. I don't like how this top leaf turned out. Kind of mad about that. That was supposed to be a little bit more organic on that part. Going down. Go with my lightest shade here. Guys, I might actually finish a tattoo in less than 2 hours. That would be insane. Less than 1 hour. If I hurry up. No, I'm not going to hurry up. Sorry. That can't happen. I know what happens whenever you rush. I have many of my first tattoos where only 14 days ago that I've already learned from that. Let's go ahead and touch of red is my blood. That's what that is. I didn't do anything that I wanted it to. Alright, well, let's try this. One more time. I can't believe this is not picking up. Oh, that's crazy. It doesn't look anything like I wanted it to. But it's not really it's not done. I'm gonna wash it off here in a second. The whole tattoo is coming off. Slowing down a little bit. Trying to get these this ink to set just a little bit better. Just like that. That's better. That's a little bit better. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of a shadow on here. And I'm going full blown black, but I'm still doing it at a rather low voltage. So my hand isn't really matching like the speed for like a good solid like outline or something like that. It's still a little bit painterly, you know. Just going a little bit more, you know, that organic, like artistic movement as opposed to, you know, more technical and exact on that. And so it gives me a little bit of like this shade on the outside, which I think it's picking up pretty good. And I'm going to use that also where I did the flowers, or the keep calling them flowers, the leaves, to kind of hopefully pick up a little bit more of the way that the shine would be shown on there, as opposed to, something more harsh and manufactured, I guess. And then going in here on the flower a little bit more of the petals and adding a little bit more black in there in certain places just to highlight out that some of the petal differentiations instead of clumping them all together and not knowing which petals belong where and it getting real fuzzy and ambiguous. Just try to cut that off a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. What happened? Alright, let me wash this off and see what I got, because that's like my favorite thing to do, is to watch all the ink that I'm supposed to have in my leg kind of not be in my leg anymore. Well, there goes the flower. Just kidding. There it is. Ta-da! It's a rose. Ever have one wash off completely? It's funny. I came really close. Let's see, which one was it? It was, I want to say it was the matchstick over on this side. Yeah, so this thing, like, I used one of those very thin liners like I used on the rose over here. And like, I was sitting there and I was going really soft with it because I think this is my second one. And so I was going really soft with it and everything. And luckily, I went around the whole like stencil before I did any kind of wiping or washing, because as soon as I hit it, everything went away except for like these little tiny itty bitty little scratches. And I was like, oh no. So I had to learn to, go a little bit deeper into the skin and actually do something instead of like just barely tapping it or whatever. So but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the rose. I think it turned out better than what I expected it to. I kind of put it up a little bit high so I wouldn't have to see it. Thank you. That's a generous word. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how many people that are actually watching, how many people in chat actually have tattoos or not, but for those that do, there's like a few places that I've heard have hurt, like the ribs or thinner areas like close to the bone and stuff like that. But so far, the only tattoos I've had that have actually hurt, they've hurt the next day, and it's because I really overworked them. Like I just, like this guy, I'm gonna have to go back and fix like this black once it heals. Now this thing has been here for about 2 weeks now. Like it should be healed, but I destroyed it. Yeah, yeah. There's 2 people that have tattoos. Yeah, 3 if you include me. But yeah, and then I totally overworked this one trying to pack white in around it, and I mean, yeah, that really shows up. It wasn't worth it. That thing, I think white has a special place, and it's not on me. So, do you? That's awesome. I used to not have a lot, but every day that goes by, I have another one. So, and I like that. I think that that's fun. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, I wouldn't say it hurts. Does it? Besides my leg. Stop, man. Like it's a white outline. I know what you're saying. You're being mean. I know you. But yeah, it doesn't really hurt. It's more like what Turkey Noodle said. I do have a lot of white ink on me. I'm like made of white ink if you look at it. Get some sun. No, I like being pale. It makes my legs look like paper and they're easier to draw. um, but yeah, so I don't know. I feels like a sunburn. It really. I mean, that's it. It just feels like while you're getting it, it's like somebody with a annoyingly long fingernail just kind of gently scratching on you, and then the next day it's like a sunburn, and then it just gets a little bit easier. The sternum. Oh my gosh, yeah. I imagine. I can actually reach mine, so maybe I'll do that one day. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking I can reach a lot of places. It's just pulling tight enough. So I think I can pretty much hit all of this, and I think I can pretty much hit all of this. Like I really just can't, my tattoo arm, unless I start practicing left-handed. I bet it is. I mean, that's got to be pretty amazing. I've seen like the collarbones. I've seen like designs that come down, like almost like pendants. I'm not, I'm doing, my first rose underneath a ghost on a leg. Yeah, I would not trust myself with a mirror. I can't even use I barely can use a backup camera. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, I'm not using those words too loosely. You guys all seem like a really cool group, and I'm very glad that I was able to, hang out with you guys, and I'm glad that y'all talked and gave me some good company. And hopefully, we can do this again tomorrow. I have nothing particularly planned, so if you guys have any kind of suggestion or anything like that, I do have the suggestion box. Yeah, I love you too. I do have the suggestion box over in my chat, so you guys can type something in there or hit me up. Any social media platform except for Facebook, because they're totally evil. Even though they own like one of the other social media companies that I really like, they're the worst. I'll probably get kicked off of here for saying something like that. I don't know, but I love Amazon. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw down the boop, the ending soon, and see you next time, and all that kind of stuff. Again, tomorrow, 8:30. That's what we're looking for, and I hope everyone comes back, and we can have another fun discussion about what new thing I'm doing now. All right, guys. Have a good night.